All right, we got Nas Leber in the building.
Nas Leber. Hey, what up, what up?
Shout out the Illusion. You can still Illusion, right?
Yeah. Forever.
Forever?
Hell yeah. Shout out Mint Beats.
Yeah.
90 degrees.
This is my shit. I want to talk a little bit like, let's go into the process of like making this music. I want to let this ride out though for a little bit to let people hear this shit. Man, I gotta start doing like in studio performances and shit. You know?
Some Funk Flex freestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Sponsored by Belaire. You know, officially sponsored by Belaire. You know, we still trying to get that. I had Radamez on the first episode, and we always he said he had like a Belaire connect, and I've been like yo, I need to get that.
Let's get that. Shout out Radamez.
Yo, I need to get a couple of black bottles sent to my house. You know what I mean? Like black bottle boys.
Yeah, that's been my vibe lately, man. I'm trying to chill with tequila and all of that. Go from like the angry drugs to the happy drugs, you know.
Yeah, see, I can't do tequila, man.
I love all of it, but like, you know, the champagne shrooms vibes.
Yeah,
nice little vibe.
Yo, the shrooms, man. Don't get me started, bro. I love a good microdose.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like microdose tonight. See where it goes.
Me too. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Nas, welcome to the Bout Whatever podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, man. We've known each other for a while. 2013, 2014-ish.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we met each other as DJs.
Yeah, man.
Those were good times.
Good times. The fucking speakeasy, Brooklyn, DIY.
Yeah,
times.
I feel like that's. I feel like. Well, now I think it's only right because everybody's kind of like elevated in their game that it's not so much like this DIY scene anymore.
For sure.
But
sure
that was
there is one too.
No, there definitely is. You know what I'm saying? But like.
It was for young people. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Going back to like 2013 and 2014, like these warehouse parties in the dojo and like, you know, all these different little hole in the wall spots that everybody performed at. I remember, were you at the show? There's like a venue on, it was when I was DJing for IOD. It was on Halloween or the day before Halloween. It was in a basement, like dirt ground and shit, like right on a venue on Broadway on the corner.
Oh shit. Yeah. Fucking.
It's when he dropped that track Ebola.
It was.
I don't know if you remember that.
I'm trying to remember the name. It was like Palace or
something like that. It's like it was like right there on Broadway.
Yeah, there was a lot of spots, man. Even before, shout out Apostrophe Keith Smith. Shout out 285 Kent. I remember back then the fucking McKibben Loss was like, popping off.
Yo, you know what place is still popping off? The Tea Factory.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those places
still go. They still go, bro.
I was just, come clean. I was just underage, man.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever we could do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down to do it. And, shit, we were just like in homies' cribs throwing parties and shit and like charging at the door.
Yeah.
That was like bread and butter at the time. Yeah,
well, talk to me a little bit about like how you came into the DJ world. I mean, like I said, it was this whole DIY scene, so it was like we really were doing it and trying to save a buck.
Yeah, and, for sure. Saving a buck. That's how it started. Because I would throw shows with my boy Solomon Phi. Shout out to Solomon Phi.
Yeah, shout out Solomon, man. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, man. We would throw shows and we didn't have a DJ, or we didn't like know. We either didn't know or didn't want to like have to pay for a DJ.
Yeah,
and I knew how to DJ because when I was younger, I took some classes at like Scratch Academy and like just like was exploring that shit on my own because I just like that. And I would just play shit from my computer with the Serato box into like a mixer. I didn't have the whole shit. And
at Scratch, was it where you said you were, we'll talk about this later, but like how you switched over to CDJs.
That's
but how was it? Yeah, I know. But how was it at Scratch Academy? What were they using? Controllers?
No, they had the I have a vinyl setup. It's been broken since like 20, I want to say like 13.
Yeah.
So I haven't used, otherwise I would use vinyl more, but I had a vinyl setup, and then I was moving around in the Bronx, and this shit broke. So then, yeah, I had figured out how to do it internally, and then I was doing that with the Serato box. And then eventually my Serato box broke. And I was just focused on music completely. I mean, I always was. Like, the DJing shit was just like for fun.
Yeah.
And then my boy put me on a virtual DJ. So I would,
Word. Yeah. That's where I learned too, bro.
Yeah.
I learned on virtual DJ in my dorm room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Mike Snell. He literally gave me virtual DJ and was like, yo, fuck with this shit.
Yeah.
Just have
I had
fun
the
with it.
the Hercules MX or whatever that shit was. It was like
Yeah.
this super small little controller, bro. It was so shitty.
I had some like I don't know. It was like Vistax. It was some like really cheap shit. I don't even know if they make it anymore. But and then I learned how to do it like on the laptop, just because that shit wasn't like working for me. And I don't even know, like, I would do shows, and then after the shows I would play music, and that ended up becoming like a highlight of the night, and people started turning up for that and like expecting me to DJ after like the rap shows happened. Like,
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember when it led to like a gig and somebody being like, yo, come DJ here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was straight up in the club fucking with my laptop and an aux in like a professional club with like CDJs and shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I was fucking typing, like, I look like I'm like hacking the mainframe and shit.
What were you doing? You were just switching songs on the phone?
Doing virtual DJ.
Oh,
and I just knew all the shortcuts. It was like playing a video game or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was making it work.
The key commands and shit.
Yeah, somebody was like, yo, bro, like, you need to like level your shit up because your taste is dope and your transitions are good, but you're like doing it you can't do this, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I remember I went to a few spots and they didn't have an aux for it, and I just couldn't DJ. And I was like, man, I gotta cut this shit out. I invested in a controller.
Yep.
I was doing that for like years. I was on a controller. I used to fucking show up to like shitty Bushwick bars with like, I had the whip, so I had the
with
PA
the
system, everything.
Oh, yo, remember didn't I sell you the PA when I moved to Florida,
did
right?
sell me my PA.
Yeah, when I moved to Florida, bro.
Yo, I forgot that. Yeah, I bought it from you.
Yeah, dude.
I was fucking lugging that shit around all the time. And
Hell
then,
yeah.
And I stopped doing that. I was not getting paid enough to do that shit. I was like, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
But I had the big army bag with my controller, and it was maybe like, literally like, I want to say like 4 months before the pandemic. My boy was like, yo, you're a clown. Like, he was showing up to gigs with just the USB.
Yeah.
And he was like, you could just learn how to CDJ. And I was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Now, shit, I'm ready to DJ right now if I needed a DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like in New York, everywhere has CDJs, but like, you know, like I went to Dallas recently and everything, you need a controller.
Yeah.
So in New York,
Did you bring your controller with you when you went out to Dallas?
Nah, I was finessing it.
Yeah.
I was doing it internal, like with the aux, but through Record Box. I figured out I was typing again.
The word. How was the Dallas trip?
Oh, that was amazing.
What's like what part of you were in Dallas? But I was about to say, what part of Texas were you in? What is like the Dallas scene like? Because I hear so much about Austin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that's like where, you know, young people are moving, and there's like this whole like congregation of like young artists and like big, you know, I know somebody else that lives out there who's a rapper. And I'm interested. What is Dallas actually like?
I mean, you know, that was my first trip, and I was there for a week, so I'm sure there's a lot more to explore. But you know, my big bro, Brandon Blue, invited me out there, and he was there with his brothers, Blue the Great, and Stony Blue.
Okay.
And
bunch of blues.
all the Blue brothers.
All the Blue brothers.
Yeah. Mad love for them.
They should do a cover with like the Blues Brothers. You know what I mean?
Like, well, they did an event
mixtape.
called Shades of Blue out there.
Okay.
And they invited me to come through. I DJ'd a few. I don't remember if I DJ'd that one, but I DJ'd like a few events out there with them, and it was dope because in Dallas, everybody you know, in New York, I could have a sold out event, line down the street. You know, all these like influencers and people are there, and like you think it's the most lit shit that ever happened, and that's happening at like 6 different venues in the same area in the same borough.
Yeah.
So it's like in other cities like Dallas, like this is like the most lit shit happening.
That's what I'm saying. It's the one spot. It's like that's where you're going. You know what I mean? Like,
which was really cool because then the whole scene gets behind. Everybody like supports each other a lot.
Yeah,
a lot differently because people support each other here, but everyone's DJing at the same time. Everybody's doing shit at the same time, so it's kind of hard. You do support, but kind of from like a distance.
That's how it was in Miami too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You DJ'd when you were down there, right?
Oh yeah, I love Miami.
I mean, Miami's sick. Florida sucks, but like, you know, I'm from Florida, but
they have
Miami's
like exceptions
cool
all over the place.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like Miami's cool for a little while, but down there the scene is, you know, it's very much like the same DJs kind of like congregating to one spot, and they all support each other. They're always on the same bill.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you because I was really in the deep Bellum area of Dallas most of the time, and it reminded me so much of like Wynwood.
Really?
Yeah, and the DJ scene in Wynwood because you know how it is. It's like kind of like the booming like art
district.
Yeah, you know, and like all the cool bars are there, and it's like the same DJs DJing like every week, and they all like fuck with each other and like.
Yeah, it's like that's great. You know, I think that's great as like a DJ, but as like the consumer, it kind of gets old because it's like that's what the one thing that I like about New York and how you said the DJs could be DJing at any time, like at all different places throughout the city at the same night. Yeah. But the thing is like in Florida, I felt like, or in Miami, I can't say all of Florida, but like in Miami, I felt like it was like a different party under a different name, but the same crowd. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? It was the same DJs just under a different name at a different location. Yeah. And it was just like a traveling group.
That's what's cool about here, I guess, because like I mean, a lot of the times it is because I'll bring my same crowd, but I feel like I can tap into new crowds, and like reach out into new places if I wanted to.
And the cool thing, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. The cool thing about New York too is that there's a scene for everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're into techno, there's the techno DJs, you know what I'm saying, that are like house. There's like you can go to these spots. You want to go some rap shit, like you can go there, you know? Yeah. That's what's cool about here, you know?
But that's what's cool about like, you know, traveling and going back and forth because like I said, like I wasn't in Texas I wasn't there long enough. And even in Miami, like where I've been is wherever I got like put onto, you know. So I'd be really curious to find those scenes and like I'm sure, you know, there's people everywhere that like all types of shit, you know. I'm sure there's like a Dallas techno scene. I'm
sure.
You know, and it's just like meeting those people because like here, even if you like don't meet those people, there's places that focus on that. Yeah, and it sounds like in from what I see, it looked like in places like Miami or like in Dallas, there's not a place like designated for that, but you gotta like find the people. It's like the inverse. You gotta find the people. Where here, like you go to those places and you're gonna just find those people.
Yeah. You know. One thing I want to like pick your brain about, and this is something I think that we both can like kind of understand. You know, with like DJing, I mean, I think it's like just in general, but like I felt like my big problem with DJing out here was like one, like I'm not really the type of dude to have like. I go places by myself, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like with one person, you know what I mean? Like that's just how I am. So I'm not the type of person that's gonna like bring a crowd of people with me and shit. And I felt like at one point, like one of the things that turned me off the DJing here was just like how many people. I get it from a business side, like yo, how many people are you gonna bring here because we need to make money, you know? Yeah. But at some points, I'm like, yo, this is kind of like a.
Like it's taking like you're an artist and want to be treated like that and not as like a promoter.
Yeah, it's like yo, my music is dope. Like the spot is already popping, so it's like, why do I need to bring 30 people?
Well, honestly, like, and especially now that shit's reopened, it's a good time to be that kind of DJ because you know, I've for years I've been in the realm of having to bring people out and doing like weekday events where I am getting judged based on my ability to bring people and set a vibe. So now, you know, I can do that, but I've also been playing at a lot of spots where if anything, they're like, don't bring people.
Yeah.
Your friends aren't gonna get in. Like send me like a 10 people guest list, you know, if you try to keep it light, 5 even, and like, you know, I straight up have been at certain spots where I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, y'all can't come.
Yeah. No, I just felt like, I felt like it was kind of becoming like a popularity contest. It was like, yo, you're popping. Yeah, it was basically like hiring promoters to DJ.
Well, you know, that's always going to be the case, because it's like, you know, with anything in the entertainment field, that is a factor that gets that is considered when people are hiring. But there are avenues for new. The thing is you know, and this is the shit that kind of sucks. It is like a who you know thing, because like,
Yeah.
if you know the right person, there are venues where they already have a crowd and they don't really need you to bring people, and they just want you to keep their crowd there. And then you could use those places to kind of build up your audience, and then go to a place that does want you to bring people, and be like, you know, I could do that. But you know, it really just, everybody wants the cool people.
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's, I mean,
it's
and
the
I
name
get
of
it.
the
Like
game.
there's parts of me that I mean, I understand the business side of things, but it's just like, damn, it's like, you know, how can you switch? Like, because it would be like me or like somebody that feels the same way. It's like, yo, you gotta like switch your whole personality, and like, I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't like.
Yeah. I had to learn that shit the hard way.
Be that the mixy dude, you know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
you'll see me at a lot of shit, but I might only be by myself or with one person, and I might just be like, I'm gonna show up to this event, and I know I'm gonna know some people there, so it is what it is. Like, you know,
dude, when I like started or like planning events, because for me that pressure came because I was trying to, like nobody was trying to let me in. I basically, like, I was going to all these unknown places where, you know, I'm trying to break even.
Yeah.
And, like, begging friends to come and shit, and I'm not, and I was not, like, now I'm like completely different than I was like 2014 2015. I was not mixy. I was not trying to talk to, like, if I don't know you, I don't really fuck with you. I don't want to talk to you. And then, you know, I had like mentors around me who kind of did that for me. I just had to like show up and do what I had to do, you know. And when they were leaving town and they were out of town, it put me in a position where, like, fuck, like, I gotta eat. Like, I gotta find a way to make this happen and change my personality to, like, get people to come out. Otherwise, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't sell tickets to a show that I'm performing at. I can't DJ. I can't do none of that if I can't get people to come out. And I would be, like, sweating, like fucking anxious. Like, man, I hope people come. I hope people come.
right?
And, like, yo, people would feel that energy, and when they did come, they just weren't enjoying themselves because they could tell I wasn't enjoying myself. So I completely stopped giving a fuck, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just play for myself, play music that I like, make sure I enjoy it. And it was mad weird because, like, I started noticing the people who did come, they felt like they were in this, like, exclusive club of, like, all right, we're just here to, like, vibe with this music.
Yeah.
We're here together.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you got great music taste, like, it's like, if you build it, they will come type shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that one dude at the bar who, like, was just having an extra drink and was like, yo, I was gonna leave, but, like, this shit is so dope. Like, I'm, you know, let me get your shit. I'm coming again.
Yeah.
Like, and I would just focus on those people, and it would be like, it would be empty. It would be like 5 people in the venue. It'd be like 3 people there, you know, and I'm, like, disappointed, but, like, really just trying not to think about it. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just get fucked up and, like, vibe out.
Yeah.
And before long, like, people started coming more because, you know, they were telling their friends, they're like, yo, his music is dope, you should come check it out. Like, it's gonna be some low key shit, but, like, we'll come here and then we'll go there. And then, like, people started coming, and then people started staying, and then before long the audience started building. But it was only when I stopped really thinking about it, and then I started gassing. So I started going to, like, venues that were popping, who only wanted to fuck with popping, and showing them footage of, like, my friends' events, and, like, you know,
being like, yo, I did this shit.
Like, look what I did. and, like, my homies who did do the event is like, yo, you can use it, don't worry, like, I'll back you up on it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. So they're like, damn, like, he's popping, I need to fuck with him. And I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, the day comes, and I don't bring 600 people, but they're like, yo, I see the work ethic. Like, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know,
that's funny.
And then just ran with that consistently.
I wanna kind of, like, jump back for a second because we're talking about, like, you know, bringing crowds out and shit like that. I want to go back to, like, how important the you're good. Don't worry about it. The dojo days were, like, because those parties were packed the fuck out.
Yo, honestly,
like, how did that happen? Like, was it just because we were having rappers perform? Like,
to be honest, it wasn't even, like, respectfully, and I got mad love for them and shout out them, and they had done some pretty awesome stuff. But, like, before the dojo, we had Apostrophe. And we
Okay, yeah. Let me hear about Apostrophe because that's one I wasn't here. Like I was here in New York for that, but I was late. I think I came at the end of that because you guys actually had a location, right?
It lasted for like a year, literally a year. It was from I want to say September 2012 to September 2000. Literally on the birthday, it was like September 3rd of Apostrophe. Fucking like 10. Police cars, 2 fire trucks, a fire marshal came, shut it down, kicked everybody out, put a sign on the door. If you even walk in this building, like you're trespassing, you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah,
because it was mad illegal. Like
yeah,
it was a crib like on Cornelia and Irving that it used to be like I don't know if it was like a laundromat or like a Chinese spot or whatever, and the landlord was like renting it out like as rooms and it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
and we straight up had. We had an art gallery on the main floor, and we had a trap door that led to a basement where we like had all these artists like Love Child and all these other people come and paint, and we do shows there. And we built like a weird compartment where behind the painting you roll up the painting and there's a full bar.
Word.
So we had all these mechanisms to like hide that we were doing parties.
Yeah.
At this time there was like a special police force in Bushwick for speakeasy parties. Because there were so many, they were cracking down on that shit. It was like before it's what it is now, you know. It was still kind of the hood. I mean, it's still the hood, but like it was more so. And yeah, we were doing art galleries, and then we do like after hour shit. We'd have shit going. We'd have an art gallery from 6 to 8, and then a party from like 6 to like 11.
Yeah,
a party from 11 to 3. Then we'd have a party from 3 to maybe like 11 a.m. You know, everybody's out by 12 p.m. Maybe sleep like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Take some Molly, get up and clean, and like get ready for the next day. And I was like 17. I was like 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Fucking dropped out of. I was like 18. I was like dropped out of college to like do this shit because it was like mad fun. We had like, we had like 17-year-old like high school kids from that to like NYU professors.
Yeah.
Like people from the Bronx, from Queens, from all over the place.
Yep.
Who were coming to this shit regularly. And it was lit. We had like classic acts like Rat King performed there, like Wiki and Hawk, Sporting Life. Gabriel Garcon Montano performed there.
Yo, shout out to him, man. I remember I forgot the first place I saw him at, but then he got on that. I remember seeing him. I think it was at a Cypher League or some shitty event.
He was because he was friends with he went to college with with Key, or he's friends with Key.
Yeah,
and he would perform at Apostrophe all the time.
Word.
Like I'm saying, we did shows like no one was there except for like our girlfriends and like our friends we came with. And no one was there, and he's like, or it's like a party, and he's like singing lullabies, you know, like rocking it real slowly, and like everybody's fucking with it, you know?
Yeah.
Topaz Jones. We had like a lot of acts, you know. That was basically our hub. So The Illusion, all the shows we used to do, like we were doing it out of there. And then when it ended was around the same time that Cypher League, like they I guess some of them would come to our shit and like fucked with it and they wanted to do it. And they set up there, they had like a crib where like 7 or 8 of them were living, and like it was big enough. The dojo.
That's what keep going.
And so they basically like piggybacked off it. So when it ended, they offered their space to like let us work out of there and do shit there because they wanted to do like an artist hub thing. And then when Apostrophe ended, they were like, all right, let's keep this going. Yeah. So then we were doing shows there, and we kind of just moved it there.
Bro, I remember my first time walking into this house, dude. Yo, the whole apartment, every inch, there's not even one space that wasn't covered in graffiti or like some sort of spray paint or like, dude, there's like a big Red Bull, like Red Bull inflatable beer just hanging it, and then it's like a stairwell going up into like all the lofted
I lived
bedrooms.
In that house for a bit, yeah.
Bro, when I walked in that bathroom, I'm like, yo, this shit must be crazy. It's just, it was like a big ass bathroom with just a tub in the middle, right? Yeah. And then the shower was just like you just stood there and you just showered.
Yo, it was some ratchet shit, and the homies were still like, you know, bringing girls back to the crib and shit. I was like, how?
Yeah.
How? Respect.
Yeah.
Like, we were all winning at the time. Yeah. I was like, how are we doing this? Like, this is insane. It was so dirty. Yeah. Because we'd throw parties all the fucking time. Shout out to Devon, Tetsu, Shit, I'm forgetting people, but you know, much love to all.
Yeah, shout out Cypher League. You know, Cypher League in general, because
Records.
those were some of my favorite parties. But I will say one thing: I was sweating my ass off when I was in those fucking parties, dude.
Oh, we were wilding.
It was just full of weed smoke. Everybody's sweating.
Yeah.
People are dancing.
Yeah.
But it takes me back to that one time. Like, I don't know if you remember this one. It was when there was a couple people performing, and IOD performed. That's why I definitely was DJing for him.
Yeah.
But then we DJ'd side to side. I don't know if you remember that shit.
Yeah.
And we were you were playing one track, and then I was like, oh, what's he playing? And then I'm going my shit. And we were going back to back. We were just trading songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit was so fun, bro.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yo, there was some great times, man. Like, really fun times. That's like where I met Radimus. And
same. Well, I don't know, because I used to do those. I never met you when I was like doing my radio show and Who's on Deck or whatever, and we used to do ciphers on Brooklyn College campus.
Oh, word.
And then we eventually like moved them onto rooftops, and we had Hood Chef come cook for us and shit.
Oh shit, I actually heard of those. Yeah. Shout out Hood Chef.
Shout out Hood Chef. He's over in LA. I don't know if he's in LA, but he's in California doing because him and all his boys are all about weed and shit. So now they have Funhouse Edibles. So I think he's got like a company out there that he's like promoting and shit. It's like Drip Cat. And like all these like different fucking Kit Kat edibles and all these different things and shit.
I was a youngin' when they were like out making moves like in Harlem and in the city and shit. I was like, I must have been like 17 when I when I met Hood Chef, he was living right there on Knickerbocker, right next to Urban Jungle, with J. Cole's producer, Elite. Word.
Yeah, he was living with Elite. And they used to do like little parties or whatever. But I met him on my show. He like came onto my show, and then he invited us to like his little restaurant that he kind of like ran his tiger sandwiches through the back. Yeah. He like has like his own sauce, like his own special sauce, and it's just like it's just all about like their whole thing is like positivity and shit. You know what I mean? But they're all like cool ass dudes.
Yeah.
And that was like one of like my real first like introductions to like the Bushwick scene. You know, because at that time I was living in Flatbush. Yeah. I was like going to Brooklyn College, or I had just graduated after that or whatever. I was still in college because I met him on the show
for sure.
But
I was brand new to Bushwick back then. I'd never been in that.
Wait, so when I met you, how old were you in 2012, 2013?
In
2014, 13.
I think I was like 19.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I just turned 19, or I was 18, or I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I was yeah. Yeah, we were wilding out. It was good. It was good times, chaotic times. What was most beautiful about it in my memory was just the raw hunger that everybody had. We were like all starving. Yeah, and, like it wasn't like a miserable thing though. It was like
everybody was everybody was like enjoying their time, like just being able to be exposed.
Bro, we were on some like Lost Boys shit, like fucking Peter Pan shit, bro. We were just like doing this crazy shit. We knew it wasn't gonna like last forever, and like we wanted to go further. Yeah, and we all did. We all managed to do that, but at the time, I remember like I could only like afford like a quarter cake and like hot chocolate, eating like bacon, egg, and cheese every fucking day. I was like, but we were like happy and like doing fun shit and like
it was fun, man. What would you say? Like, do you have any like complaints about like that? Well, first off, I want to go. Maybe because I'm not like tapped into it enough, you know what I mean? But like, I wonder what the underground like kind of like DIY scene is looking like now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no idea, right? I don't really.
I just know this. I know that through the pandemic, I mean, it's not like pretty to say. After once all the protests started happening and all the marches and like people were more outside and for whatever cause it was, right? Like everybody understood that the way COVID works, the way a virus works, where we're talking about like it gets transmitted through like air and breathing and shit. Yeah. Whether you're marching for a good cause or not, being in a big group of people, even if you have a mask, is still dangerous. Yeah. So once we were all doing that and protesting a lot, we kind of felt comfortable throwing parties now. And like mobilizing people for that. They were essentially doing the same shit, but with like a sound system. And everybody was still pretty distant. Everybody was still doing their thing. But like, you know, and once that started happening, it was kind of crazy because I hadn't seen this in a long time. Because I feel like whether it's that the community of artists and DJs grew up and started only being in clubs, or that the DIY scene for like a few years was kind of not popping off. I don't know what it was, but I hadn't seen anything like that in a while. And for the first time in years, I was like, damn, this feels like when I was like 18, 17.
Yeah, because everybody was excited. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just genuinely excited. They weren't even
illegal, and it was illegal as fuck.
Yeah,
and we're like
exactly.
breaking into fucking like, you know, Renegade, all Bushwick Grant. We were doing all these crazy parties and like breaking into lots and bringing sound systems and fucking thousands of people.
What was that? Tell me about that. Because I remember. I'm an early bird, man. Like, I can't stay out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning like some of these young boys, man. I can't do it anymore. Like 3 o'clock is like I'm out. Like that's like when I'm partying. Like
I have too much energy, man.
3 o'clock, like if I'm getting home and I hear birds chirping, my anxiety is fucking through the ceiling, bro.
I mean, well, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that. If I see the sun coming up, I see somebody taking a child to school.
I'm
like,
what am I doing with my life, son? I need to go home. I need to go to sleep.
I need to call my dad. Like, go to church or some shit.
But talk to me, because it was before things opened up, and then I saw you at that club in Greenpoint. What's the name of that shit? It's got the back and it's got the secret room in it.
There's a few of those.
Okay. Damn. What's the name of this shit? It's got like
the secret room part throwing me off. I'm in Greenpoint.
It's like right there on Greenpoint on Manhattan Ave.
Ponyboy?
There you go. See, there we go.
Ponyboy.
Shout out Ponyboy.
I got an event coming up at Ponyboy soon.
I fuck with Ponyboy. My boy, like, who I went there, he brought me there. That was my first time ever there. He knows the owner.
James. Shout out James.
Yeah. And he, like, hooked us up or whatever. And, like, we got in, blah, blah, blah. But this was, like, before things had opened up. And, like, how things were at, like, 25% capacity and shit. I went into Ponyboy, and it was, like, COVID didn't even exist. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of places doing that. It's more so, like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of ideas and thinking about that. And I think everybody's right to think what they want to think.
Yeah, but the point I wanted to get to was I've been seeing a lot more of, like, I feel like I've been seeing a lot more of this lately, but I had known about it before you told me about it, but like that warehouse party that happened on the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And were you guys DJing out of U-Haul trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
No, we have a truck.
Yeah.
We brought a sound, like, I think like 2,500 people came.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw it on TikTok. That's how I knew it was lit.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
And no cops shut it down, right? Not until...
We went till 4 a.m. before cops shut it down. And I think it's because there was like a fight or something on the outskirts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that though, because like I said, I saw you there and you were like, "Yo, I'm about to go DJ at this party," and I think it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know if I can hang, bro."
Ponyboy before.
Yeah, right? I saw you at Ponyboy, and you were leaving. You were like, "Yo, we're about to go DJ this party." I'm like, "Yeah, I know about it, man. I don't know if I can make it though, bro."
Yeah,
like,
that shit was crazy.
But like, I feel like I've been seeing it. Well, I mean, because we had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's all we had. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But those parties are like so much better than,
of course, because it's free. It's for the people. It's out in the open.
It's illegal again. You know what I'm saying?
There's that little thrill.
Yeah.
All my 30-year-old friends are like,
yeah. Shout out, I'm 30, man. You know what I'm saying? Big 3-0.
I kind of love to see it. You know, we're all like grown ass people, like we're in like high school again. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. It was, yo. It reminded me of high school. We used to. I don't know if you've been to Florida, but I don't know if you ever been to like Publix.
Yeah.
You know Publix, right?
I love
the
Publix.
Sandwiches there are fire. Everybody knows about Publix. Pub subs, baby.
Know about the pub subs.
Pub subs, baby.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, they used to have warehouses like over off this road called Hillsboro, and we used to party there like in the back of their warehouses, and it was like a huge high school party spot, and like we had that shit for like every weekend until like maybe for like a month until like other rival high schools started coming and people started like getting in fights or like arguments, you know, high school shit.
It got too hot. Yeah.
But it like reminded me. Like shit like that reminded me, and it
100%.
brought me back to that. I was like, "Yo, this is dope. I love this shit."
All the rooftop parties, all the Yeah, I mean, I love that shit. I know. I mean, I'm so used to like being in a bar or like there's not really any like clubs in New York right now. Everything's like a bar that has like a DJ setup.
Yeah.
And like people are like, it's not the club, and like it really to get that feeling that I used to get from like what I would consider like a club experience or like a real like rave or like, you know, what would be like a fun party for me is like, yeah, that whole element of like free, or even if there is a cover, there's just like a certain freedom in the environment. There's a freedom of the kind of music that gets to get played and the artistry of the DJs and allowing them to basically have free reign.
That's what. Have you run into that a lot? Like, I remember my worst experience ever. I DJ'd Miami Gold, which is a strip club in Miami, obviously, and it was dope because there was a porn star there. It was Veronica Rodriguez.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she was like the
she was giving him that look. You're like, what? It was the worst experience ever?
It was the worst experience of my life as
Veronica Rodriguez.
No, she was dope. Like, shout out Veronica V-Rod. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, shout out V-Rod, man. You know, but
let me apologize to my girl real quick.
Hey, man,
I never
it's
met
a
her.
public domain. It's the internet.
It's all right.
But no, like I DJ'd a strip club once, and honestly, it was like, it made me a term, because I had DJ'd like a couple of clubs before that, like nothing crazy. I DJ'd Katra or whatever.
Oh shit! Word.
Yeah, I DJ'd that. IOD performed there one night, and then they let me DJ for like 2 hours or whatever. I did Santos Party House.
Oh wow!
Yeah, throwback.
Yeah.
But when I was DJing at the strip club, I was playing a lot of shit that like you don't really hear DJs playing, like. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of DJs weren't playing it. And, like, that's kind of like the same shit with you. Like, you play a lot of stuff that's not going to be normally played by, like, a top 40 DJ, right?
B-sides.
Exactly. It should be, I mean, I'm not saying it should be B-sides, but I prefer the B-sides.
Whatever you like, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I kept running into the fucking guy, the host or whatever, and he kept fucking... First off, I had, like, my boy who was a promoter for that club would keep coming up to me. He was like, yo, the girls are loving the music, bro. Like, it's different. Like they're fucking with it. It's like putting them in a good vibe. And I would hear that in my left ear, and then in my right ear, I had like the host of my shit being like,
classic story.
Yeah, yo, you gotta play like top 40 stuff, bro. Like you gotta play a little bit more. I'm like, man, like if your girls are having fun, like that's the point of what we're here for, right? Like your girls should be feeling comfortable on stage, and that like really turned me off to like DJing clubs.
Dude, I agree to understand that. There's a gig. Like, there's a job where you're like a bartender, you're like a bouncer. Your DJ is hired, and I'm cool with that if you tell me in advance what you want me to play, because I don't want to show up. You hired me knowing how I play, and then I show up, I play what I play, and then you're like, oh, why are you not playing this? You never told me to play that shit. Yeah. If you want to do that, tell me what to play. But I kind of know the difference between like, you know, a gig job where I'm like, I'm gonna get my money, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do my shit, I'm out. You know, versus like, all right, I'm throwing a party, or like we're doing some shit for the culture. We're gonna play whatever. No, I mean, I'm already no request, but like, especially like, no, don't even fucking come up to me with that shit.
Have you ever? I'm definitely no request too, but like sometimes it's hard. It's you don't want to be a dick. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like
a dick. I've earned it. I've worked mad hard to be a dick. I'm a fucking asshole with that shit. I'll be like, yo, I'll be like, yo, go on this website. You learn how to DJ. You could fucking you could play whatever the fuck you want.
Yo, but I will say one thing. Like I used to barely ever take requests, but sometimes somebody would hit me with requests, and I'm like, I'm not mad at that.
Well, I mean,
you know,
when I want to be nice, because like, you know, if I see it's like a group of cute girls or whatever. You know, and I'm thinking about it strictly from like, let's maintain this party, right? And then, like, you know, they've been supporting the night, they've been chilling, whatever, they've been vibing out, and they're like nicely, politely asking. I'm not gonna be like, fuck off, like, you know, but I'm gonna be like, yo, look, I don't do requests, but just out of curiosity, like, what are you trying to hear? Yeah. And if it's like ridiculous, like, I'm like, I'll be like, if I get around to it, I'll do it. Yeah. That's mostly what I always say. I'm always like,
just listen what they gotta say.
I might put it on.
Because sometimes, and you know, sometimes there's been a situation where somebody told me to play this shit, and I'm like,
Yeah, but sometimes
mad at
I'm playing like house music and everybody's dancing to house music and
somebody tells you
comes
play
up to
some
me,
rap shit.
Can you play some real motherfucking G's by Dr. Dre? Or I'm playing like Migos and Drake all night, and then they're like, "Oh, can you throw on some Lady Gaga?" I'm like,
What the fuck? Where's this
put
coming
on your
from?
headphones or like host at your fucking crib with your
Yeah.
NYU friends and like fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
don't come to the club with your notes.
Yeah. What are some of like your more favorable spots to DJ at right now in the city? Because I know you're at Kind Regards tonight. I love Kind Regards. I haven't been there in a minute, but Kind Regards is always a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean the places I've been DJing a lot, like the most right now, Kind Regards, their other bar, Dingaling.
Dingling, yo, shout out Dingling. That's the funniest fucking name. Yeah. My boy Max has like a part in that. He's the one who opened up Bandits too. I don't know if you know
word.
Bandits.
Yeah.
We used to work together at this place called Grey Dog. I think he helped open up Dingling too.
Oh yeah, he's friends with Andy, right?
I'm not sure. His name's Max though.
Yeah.
Long hair.
Okay, no, he's somebody else I'm thinking of. But word.
Yeah.
Word.
I haven't been to Dingling Lounge.
I mean, respect to Mikey and Noble. I kind of like Dingling better than Kind Regards.
Yeah,
it's a nice, really cool spot. But they're all love to both those spots. But yeah, I mean, those are still like kind of gig jobs where I'm like, I go and I do my part and I kind of know how it works there and like respect the ecosystem of what it is.
Yeah.
Cafe Razuli is dope because I can whenever I play there I can do it.
Yo, I tried to get in there the other night, like a couple weeks ago. Oh, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, and the fucking line was like down the block and around the corner, bro. I was like,
that's one of those spots I tell my friends come at 9.
Yeah.
And it starts at 10.
I tried to tell them, yo. I tried to tell the people I was with, I was like, yo, we got to get there early if you even want to get in. Like,
that's honestly the biggest headache. But shout out to Mark and Cafe Razuli. But once you're in, what's cool is, like, I have full freedom.
Yeah.
I could do whatever the fuck I want. And I really love that.
Yeah.
There's another spot, Studio 220. Shout out, Gooey NY, Mello. They're really good people. They run this like speakeasy spot. It's really dope. They got like a weed club. It's all legit. Really dope people. And then man, I kind of go where the wind blows.
Yeah. I mean, we used to be at Farewell every Wednesday, and then you'd pop into Farewell.
Oh yeah. Well,
shout out Farewell.
Yeah, Ezra Bartons and my boy Marcus. Yeah, man. Whenever I'm free and whenever I have a night where I'm not like DJing, I'm like, I like the local bars and shit.
Yeah. Do you just carry your USB on you at all times?
All times, man. You never know. I'll be, cause literally I'll be, and before shit open up, I'd be chilling, get invited to a friend's house. Well, there's some CDJs there.
Word.
I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm playing now. I'll go out. My friend's DJing. He's like, yo, I gotta use the bathroom. You want to jump on for like 30 minutes? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm DJing.
Yo, one thing that used to bother me about DJing is sometimes when I was DJing, I just wanted to be out there. Like, I wanted to be enjoying the shit that I'm playing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that happens sometimes. For me, honestly, and I don't think it's that depressing, but it's like, I'm like an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
I like being out, I like partying, but I don't like being with everyone. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like with DJing, it's cool because I'm here with y'all. I'm in
but
the party.
You got your own
but
space.
I'm behind this barrier.
Yeah.
And like I have every right to be like, don't fucking talk to me because I'm doing something right now.
Yeah.
And I love that shit. I'll be there. I'm turned up. Especially like if I did want to do like Molly or like some drugs or I'm gonna be in some other shit. I'm like, cool. I'm safe. I'm in my safe zone.
Do you feel like you're able to perform like when you do shit like that? Do you think? Does it ever like fuck you up or like? Because I know sometimes when I drank too much when I was DJing, I would fuck up.
My girl says that Molly, I'm not as good on Molly, but she says I'm amazing off the shrooms.
I DJ'd an event off shrooms like a month ago. Yeah. My homie's Ginger Beer company did like an opening at this little gallery on Hester Street, and I took a little mushrooms towards the end of my set, and by the time I got to the last hour, they kicked in, and they were like, "Yo,
I feel like a plant," and I'm just like fucking here, and I don't even look at the room. I'm just like in the fucking matrix.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know, man. I treat it all as you got to take things seriously, but also don't take it too seriously because sometimes I get drunk and I'll do some shit like lower the music and be like, yo, shout out to me. Fuck all of y'all. And my girl's like, shut the fuck up, yo, stop. And I'm like, but everybody's like laughing and shit. I'll be like, or I'll lower the music. I'll be like, yo, I love you all, man. We ain't shit, but I love all of you. Like, yo, we did this. My team did this, but we ain't shit. But it's all you. And like, I'll just say something like a drunk person would say.
Yeah.
You know, like how you go out to somebody, you're like, yo, I love you, man. Like, I'll be on the mic like, yo, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. And like, my friends are like, yo, just play the music. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I kind of embrace it. I used to be embarrassed, and now I'm like,
fuck it, bro. Just who gives a shit, dude?
Yo, last time I did that shit, people were like cheering and shit, and I was like, the next day I saw a video of me and I'm like, oh god, I'm so embarrassed. But I was like, yo, but people fuck with it though. Like, you know, like in my mind, it's some moody man shit and it's cool as fuck. But in reality, it's not. But I laugh at myself.
Who gives a shit?
I don't really care.
Because nobody's being like, yo, you remember when Nas fucking said he loved everybody, but we ain't shit? Like, nobody's like going home like after the night after listening to good music.
Say they ain't shit. I'll be like, I ain't shit. I'll be like,
oh, I thought you said we ain't shit, even though we ain't shit.
Or I'll be like, as a community, I'm like, you know,
that's what I'm saying. We ain't shit.
Like, hey, like, yo, we're all great. We ain't shit, but we all great.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, because I just try to uplift. You know what I'm saying? So like. You know, I remember when I was younger, I perform at rap shows and I see other rappers or like people being like, yo, why y'all not turning up? Like, y'all need to turn up. Like, fuck out of here. This crowd is whack. Yeah. Like, why are you berating the audience? They're fucking listening to you. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, instead, I like talking and I'm like, I'm with you. I'm like, all right. I'll lower the music. I'm like, all right. What y'all want to hear? I don't take requests, but for this, like, for these 30 seconds, whoever's the loudest, I'm gonna play the shit you want to hear.
Yeah.
Genres only. Don't tell me a specific song. Tell me what you want to hear. And I'm like, I'll play it. Yo, reggaeton. All right, I'm playing reggaeton. Y'all gonna have to live with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll do some shit like that, but like kind of make it interactive.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, remind everybody though, I'm here with y'all. Like, I'm not a fucking like robot.
Yeah. Well, talk to me a little bit, because like we mentioned earlier, like you also make music too. So tell me about like how you find like the balance between DJing and like actually wanting to perform like your music. Because I mean, we could play more of your music. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of recent projects and recent singles that you put out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's dope. Like a lot of shit is dope. And so like, how do you figure out like what it is that you want to focus on? Is it just DJing right now, or is it like
I'm focused on music?
Just in general.
That's it. Yeah. DJing just doesn't interfere because it's like it's at night.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be in the studio and I go straight to the club or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's fine. And also like DJing doesn't really require much effort. It's something like kind of meditative to performing or DJing. Period. Like, I don't really have to think about it too much.
Yeah, because I listened to your last interview, a little bit of it. Of your last interview, I forgot who it was.
HD on
yeah.
Shout
and
out HD.
Yeah, and you mentioned how you were like, yo, like I used to care about like what I did with my music and when I was, you know, my schedule behind putting it out, and eventually you just got to this point where you're just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna put my music out, and you fuck with it or you don't fuck with it.
100%.
And I think honestly that's like the way to be.
Yeah. I mean, well, cause I did the whole like pre-plan everything, and it just made me take really long to drop shit and lose momentum. I did the whole, you know, try to get industry people behind you and shit, and then, you know, it works, it doesn't work, disappointment. Now I'm like, you know, if it's out, whatever catches on will catch on. I'm in rooms literally like 3 to 4 days out of the week, with like 200 plus people, and I play my music while I'm DJing. Yeah, all the time. And I'm just continuing to drop shit. So I'm like, you know, it was like, I was taking too long. I wanted to do it the right way, and then I was like, man, I don't want to be like in my 30s. Like I'm 27. I was like, I don't want to be in my 30s, and like me and my friends are the only ones that know my shit. Yeah. You know? And then like, at least there's no excuse now. So it's like, it's out. You know, if you ain't heard it, you ain't heard it yet. And like I could keep promoting it, but you can't say that I didn't drop it. Because that was the thing for mad long. Like I did have friends that wanted to support, and they're like, when are you gonna drop this? I want to hear it. And I'm like, no, it's not ready. And then eventually I was just like, man, fuck
that shit. Yeah.
Well, who am I playing? Because it would be like I would sit on shit and then shit, months would pass, a year passed. Now I have way better shit. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, now I don't even want to drop that shit because this is way better. I should focus on this. And then I'll get mad because I'm like, this song was really awesome, but now it's not relevant. It wouldn't make sense to drop. So I'm like, I should have just put it out when I liked it.
That's what I'm saying. You listen to it so much that it starts to grow old on you, and you're like, fuck, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, your taste changed and whatever. So now I'm like, man, let's get it out.
Yeah.
You don't like that song? I don't even like that song. Fuck it. I like this song, though. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a whole catalog. You can hear me get better, And then if you just are finding me out, you'll go back, hopefully, check it out. But yeah, like I also don't really know where life is going. Like my DJ career is booming. Music opportunities are there and they're coming, and it's like let me not think about it. Let me just keep working, keep my foot on the gas, and not like put the pressure on myself. Like I have to do this or I have to do that. If there's somebody that comes through with like a good plan that I'm also like, yeah, fuck with that. Like I'll do that. But I'm like, as for now, let's just get it out there.
Are you working with management or anything like that?
Nah, man. I've been just doing everything myself. I mean, like I've been open to shit, but I'm also like, whenever I do start working with somebody, it's like I'm the kind of person like you gotta like be on my shit a lot. And it's like then I be thinking, I don't really need a manager at this state. I need like a fucking mom or some shit. I need like a fucking boss.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna pay you every week to just be my boss.
Just tell me, man.
Shit on me when I'm like late with my assignment. Because I don't really need you to do shit for me. Cause I could do it myself. I got all the connections, but like, just like make sure I do that shit. Like, make sure I go to the gym. Make sure I don't eat no bullshit. Make sure I don't get too drunk. You know what I'm saying? That's like more so that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, I take it a day at a time. Just keep making work and keep it pushing.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to add you in here. You want my cousin Anthony's in the building. He's over here on the side of the camera. You got anything you want to ask? Yeah, we'll just put you on my mic.
No questions, but it's mostly kind of relevant to the stuff you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, come in here, man. Come in
here. Specifically with like choosing what to play, when to play, how to play it. I can't exactly remember the author of the quote, but it was from the book Tribe of Mentors, and it's saying, if you're trying to write to please other people, it's never going to work, but write for a stadium of yourself.
I'm 100%.
Yeah.
When I DJ, I play for myself. When I make music, I play for myself. When I perform, I'm playing for myself. I could give a fuck if there's a balance. Obviously I care, because if I see nobody's vibing with shit, I'm gonna like adjust it. But even it's like when your parents would be like, all right, I know you want to make music, but you need a plan B, right? You should like try to have a completely different plan B. I'm like, nah, my plan B, C, D, E, it's all supporting my plan A. It's all in the same shit, right? So like when I DJ, even if I'm DJing at a spot where they want only this vibe, or like this spot they want a happy hour vibe, they want some chill shit, or this spot they want turn up popular shit, I'm like, all right, it's not like a plan B thing where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play what you want. It's like I'm gonna play what I like in the realm of the parameters that I'm given. So like there's so much music. We live in a time with limitless archives of sounds and old songs and new songs being dropped like every fucking second. Like you can find songs in a top 40 parameter that you like, and that is still like your style and are still gonna be mainstream. You could play a happy hour set at like a chill hotel lounge with like cocktail hour and shit, and like find cool, sexy, grown and sexy shit. You can go to some like young party and play all the turn up crazy mosh pit shit and find shit that you like. So I try to keep it like that and still keep it me, because I don't know DJs that like just they hate the shit they're playing. I'm like, nah, I like what I'm playing, and if I'm gonna hate it, I'll just turn on the gig.
Yeah, like if you want to hate your work, just go to corporate America.
Exactly, and it's like that's why I do this, because I want to do what I want to do. I don't really like people telling me what to do.
Yeah, are your parents like seeing your progress and being like, yo?
They don't know what selling out this place means or what
this
means. They don't know, but they support. They still low key wish I'd do some other shit.
Yeah,
but they support, and they give me that love. And
I mean, shit, man. As long as you're paying your bills and you're able to survive on your own, like, what can our parents say other than just be conscious and be parents, and just
for sure,
and just be worried. But
it's the same shit with music too for me though, because I know I focused on the DJ part for that answer, but even with the music, it's like I gotta like it. Anytime in my life that I've ever been like, I'm gonna make, let me make a pop record. Let me make like a hit. Like, no. Literally, my studio process is I start. Like, I'll listen to music. If I don't really like people in the studio with me when I'm working, but if there is somebody with me, I'm like, all right, cool, you're on this journey with me. Let's talk, let's chop it up, let's drink, let's fucking shoot the shit for like a couple hours, and then mid combo, I'm like, all right, I got it. Let's do it. Yeah. And I'll literally that's me writing a song. I record that, and then I'm like, yo, I like when I go that part. I mean, what do I write for? All right, how does it feel? And I'll write to that melody, and now I got a song.
Okay.
Like with Big Money Man, make it. I'm literally listening. That was one of the beats I didn't make, and shout out Fern Souza. He sent me the beat, and I heard it. I was like, Big Money Man, I was like, why should I try to find something else?
That's on the Crash. This is the Crash EP, or
no? That's Tangerine. That's off the Tangerine.
Oh, Tangerine.
Crash EP was an interesting process because it was all like, this was all mostly shit made through the pandemic. And like Moon Rocks is one of my favorite joints on that, and that was inspired by like an upstate trip with some friends. We were doing Moon Rocks. We were off to Mali, like happy, just like there's like a giant waterfall and like field and dogs and like good food, and it's all beautiful people, and it's all like close friends and shit, and we're just like fucking vibing. I'm DJing in the fucking living room. Me and my girl like slow dancing. Everybody's just focusing on their own shit, and I was just like playing with chords when I got home from that, and like it just felt like how I felt when I was just happy on Molly and with my friends upstate, like in the water and shit.
Speaking on upstate, before we get out of here, I want to talk about what was this Club Flex shit?
Camp Flex.
What'd you guys do? Rent a house upstate and like throw a party?
So my boy Jay Flex, his family owns this like, it's like hundreds of acres of land and shit, like upstate, and yeah, man, he wanted to create an experience where he gave back to his friends who were like bringing him out to all these great nightlife experiences. Yeah. And he's like a really supportive homie who like really just like, he'll be on the list for everything he pays to get in, and I'm like, bro, like just get in. But he's like, super supportive. So he wanted to give us this experience. So he invested like him and his cousin invested like a lot of money. And like we basically, we were gonna do it by the pool, but we had like a stage, like professional projections, like concert level shit, like lighting and all of that, sound system. He got like charter buses for like some close friends who wanted to come up, and it was gonna rain, so he actually had a barn. So this was an accident, and it ended up being a really cool accident, but it was in this barn, and there happened to be a fog machine. It was like a $10,000 fog machine that the people who like were renting it, they just like accidentally brought it, and they were like, fuck it, you guys can use it. You don't have to pay for that. We were like, oh shit. We're selling drinks. It was just like, for like friends and family type shit. And then there was like an immediate group of friends that we were like staying for the weekend because we were just been nonstop working. So he was like, yo, let's like unwind. Let's go in the pool. Let's like be up like in some nature and like chill. You know, one night we'll invite the friend, and it became this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. I was not on Earth.
Yeah.
It was, I don't think any of us were.
Yeah, word. I saw videos where I was like out work and I'm like looking at the shit. I'm like, damn, this shit looks fire, bro.
There was so many moments where I was like, this isn't happening. Like, this is crazy. Like,
yeah,
it was like bats and shit. It was fucking crazy. Like, yeah, and I don't know. It was really dope. You know, we were happy whoever was able to like share that with us, but definitely want to do it in a way that is more open. It's just that it was like his family home, so like, we kind of had to keep it exclusive. But we definitely, after doing that, we're all like, yo, we got to find a way to do this.
Do some Woodstock shit. You know what I'm saying?
In a way that like everybody can be a part of this. Open it up to people. Because that was a really beautiful experience for sure.
Yeah, man.
I'm all about the nature rave,
and it takes you back to the DIY days. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
but even better, man. Because I'm in a fucking barn.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a field. Like there's like horses and shit. I was like, this is nice. This is not Bushwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. You got anything else you want to add? Or?
Do you have any like routines that you do before you start creating or DJing or performing or whatever? Or
well, with the DJing, I've done it so many times that it's kind of like I get into it. I don't ever prepare sets, but like there's like mix. I'm sure you know how it is. Like there's like certain things you know are gonna be fire.
Yeah.
And if I'm not feeling it or I'm not inspired, I'll do the shit that I kind of do all the time to like get into it before I'm like, all right, cool, I'm feeling it now. Like let me go hard. Sometimes if the vibe is right, I'm just like right. Everyone like is a banger. But with making music from scratch, living is a big part of it. So like, you know, I haven't been in the studio in like a couple weeks because it's just been very like fast paced and I really haven't had any time. But I don't like feel bad about it. I like embrace it because all of this shit is just energy that's gonna go into whatever I'm doing. You know, I try to let myself be as vulnerable as possible so that the music is as honest as it could be. And then, yeah, like I said, like I'll like, if I'm by myself in the studio, which usually is the case, I'm like watching TV, and like trying to get inspiration. Like I'll watch movies and shit and like, you know, a score, or like I'll mute the movie and I'll put some like crazy sci-fi shit or something and like change the lights in the studio and then just start finding different sounds and like try scoring the movie. And then some inspiration from that will go into it, and then I'm like, yeah, then I set up the mic and I'm mumbling again. I'm like, and then like my computer starts crashing because I'm playing a movie while I'm trying to produce and record. So I just turn it off and just ride the vibe. But yeah, you know, it's very like meditative. Like it's pretty easy once I tap into it. I have like this. I just think ideas and creativity is like, everybody can access it. It's like a tree with like limitless fruit. You know what I'm saying? We could all be picking from it, and you just gotta like get in that zone. But also you can't like try too hard. So I try not to try too hard. I'll just like really take it easy.
Yeah. So if it's not happening, just go for a walk or something.
Yeah. I'll be like, yo, my girl, like, she'll hit me up, or a homie will hit me up. I'm like, yo, I'm working. I'm busy. And I just been in the studio for like 4 hours bullshitting.
Yeah.
Just sitting and like watching TV, scrolling through Twitter, and I'm like, I'm working, and they're like, oh shit, and then like 2 hours later I got a banger. And they don't understand, and I'm like, you're not working, you're just fucking chilling. I'm like, I'm getting inspired. I'm just doing it.
Yeah, you gotta like give me my time and shit to like really,
see
really,
how I
like,
feel.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm working with somebody else, it's usually pretty fast, because if somebody would start doing melodies, and like I'll know pretty fast, like nah. Oh, let it rock. Don't put any drums. I'm gonna sing. All right, now let's make the drums. Now let's make a song. I mean, I like how I work. Some people might find it annoying. Some producers are like, we gotta make a complete beat, and I'm like, I'll just find some chords that sound really like minimal and whatever, and then I'll build it up from there. Well, that's usually how I like to do it. Keep it pure. Sometimes I'll finish the song and I'm like, no drums at all, no bass. We don't need it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's honest. You know, this will go in the project, or I'll leak it or some shit. You know, if they don't like it, fuck them.
Yo, that's a perfect way to end the episode, man. Yo, Nas, I really appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, man, it's fun. Yo, I don't know what you're doing after this. We're going over to Roberta's. They got Static Selector and Tony Touch.
I want pizza. I want.
That's what I'm saying. They got some of the best pizza.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no, we'll be over there. I'm taking him. He's from North Carolina, so
Hey,
I'm trying to give him a little. Well, he's not from North Carolina. From upstate New York, where
You
our
live
family's
out there right
from. But he lives in North Carolina.
Word.
So I'm gonna take him out to some Brooklyn shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I gotta download music, but I want to go before I do that.
It goes till 10, man. You know.
I'll make a pit stop. And we out.
Yo, thank you for coming in, bro.
Love.
Peace, man. I appreciate it.
Love. Hell yeah. Let's eat some pizza.
Yes, sir.
Get drunk.